The 5 biggest flops of 2019, Business Edition. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. As we continue our short series, we're taking a look at the biggest flops of 2019. Let's have a look, shall we? Number 1. Apple's $1,000 stand. Everybody knows Apple is expensive, but $1,000 for a monitor stand sounds like a bit of a stretch when you're thinking from a consumer perspective. Believe it or not, we actually don't have a problem with the fact there's a maxed out version of the Mac Pro costing more than a Tesla Model 3. We also think the $5,000 price tag for the monitor is completely fair. These devices are not for you Fortnite players out there. These are purchased by businesses who simply want the biggest punch they can get. At $5,000, you're pretty much getting a steal since just a few years ago, similar displays were costing over $25,000. The problem with the $1,000 stand was the way it was presented. This is actually a $6,000 setup that you can purchase for $5,000 if you want the display alone. This would have been received differently. As for the businesses buying these, they don't care about the extra grand. It was all negative attention that could have been handled better from a presentation perspective. Number 2. Samsung's folding phone fiasco. Remember when Samsung phones were blowing up? Those were the days. This year, they launched the folding phone, an amazing new technology that's going to take us into the future. For decades, every device out there came with a plastic foil you had to take off before using your device. Tech companies have trained us to remove them in order to enjoy our products. The folding phone had a similar plastic overlay, but you weren't supposed to take it off. Only it didn't say that anywhere. Even the corners were exposed, just waiting for you, and people behaved like they were trained to behave, effectively ruining every device out there. Not only this, but in their rush to deliver something amazing and new, they didn't take enough time to perfect the technology. Every folding device out there still has display problems. The crest forming is a nightmare, and in a fairly short amount of time, it begins to affect functionality. We love the fact they're pushing the limits of technology. It's just we wanted it to work as it was presented. Samsung once again took a PR hit when they had to issue a massive recall. Number 3. Jeff Bezos' divorce. We've talked about this on our channel before because, frankly, it made history. The $35 billion divorce between the richest man in the world and his novelist wife. Truth be told, she could have gotten more if she really went for it, but that would have deprived Jeff of his status and dropped him under the $100 billion mark, so they ended it pretty amicably. Why did we put this as a flop? Because it's hard to justify why anyone would get that much money for just being someone's spouse. Mackenzie Bezos, of course she's keeping the name, is now worth $35 billion. Just to put that into perspective, at the moment of making this video, Elon Musk is worth only $22 billion, and he's built multiple companies and has dedicated his entire life to pushing humanity forward. By far, one of the most successful and brilliant people we've ever had on this planet. As a husband and wife, you share the rewards each of you achieve, but this shouldn't mean you're entitled to them. The current divorce laws have been in place since the days where women were seen as inferior to men and only as good as stay-at-home moms. There were actually efforts to limit women's ability to perform in the marketplace. This was back then, but we're living in the present. We're all active agents in the marketplace. Women have the same rights as men. Maybe it's time we start looking at these things with a more critical eye. And speaking of equality, number 4. Hollywood's push for their version of feminism. We feel like Hollywood's got this feminism thing all wrong and it's kind of annoying us. The strategy so far is to remake successful movies with an all-female cast. As everyone knows, this has backfired massively. One movie after the other, they all flopped. It's not a strategy of the male consumer to keep women out of the cinema. Instead, it just feels forced. The female Ghostbusters, Charlie's Angels, Dark Phoenix, Men in Black, moving away from the premise and the title. These movies didn't flop because the cast was female, they were simply just not that good. There are plenty of amazing movies where the star is female. Just take a look at Wonder Woman, Kill Bill, shout out to Xena the Warrior Princess, or even the original Charlie's Angels. This brutal reversal and overall attitude of women good, men bad, shoved in your face, it just drives the opposite reaction feminists are looking for. It also doesn't seem quite as genuine when you hear that all those Me Too women have accepted a $25 million deal to put the case to rest. Number 5. WeWork. There were many more to include, but we promised to keep this short. WeWork is our last example. This massive unicorn began the summer with a valuation around $47 billion, and in just a few short months, dropped almost 80% to below $5 billion today. That's more than Bitcoin. For those of you who don't know, WeWork, which recently rebranded as We Company, is a landlord company for freelancers. You pay rent on your desk. The idea was pretty great. They went hard on the sharing economy, opened up as many locations as they could, expecting a massive migration from traditional offices. But people didn't come, and those who didn't stick around for as long as they were projecting. And it didn't help that while the company was putting out fires left and right preparing for the initial public offering, the CEO was away in the Maldives, surfing. If you guys watch the TV show Silicon Valley, you'll definitely get the vibe WeWork was trying to put out. At least when the founder was fired, he took out a $700 million payout. Hey Luxers, mistakes can happen in business and sometimes strategies will backfire. Which flop would you add to the list? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for spending some time with us, Luxers. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos for you to watch next. As always, the conversation continues on social media. Thanks again, and we can't wait to have you back tomorrow.